Master by Mariah The Scientist. Mariah The Scientist is a new artist from RCA Records from the ATL. Tory Lanez hit up Mariah on Instagram and wanted to help her work on music. He helped her and taught her how to work on her music. Her name comes from her major she studied at St. John's University, where she studies science. How do we feel about our debut EP? Here's our honest review of Master by Mariah The Scientist.
Mariah The Scientist.
When you sent me that, I was just like, okay. Mariah The Scientist. And, immediately I thought like hip hop. Like, oh, this is some dope rap name.
Yeah, that is
R&B.
that is like a fire ass rap name, right? I don't know if you saw this, but they were even doing stuff like periodic table.
Yeah.
I thought that was actually super dope. How you feel about this album artwork?
I think it's pretty dope. Like, I'm not trying to reach too much into it, but I kind of feel like, based on some of the lyrics she put in the songs, that she has a lot of motherly influence. So I thought it was very appropriate, for that reason.
I was thinking how you started it off where you didn't want to read into it too much.
Yeah.
I don't want to read into it too much. But based on how some of the songs sound, I'm a little uncomfortable with the way he has his hand on her neck.
That's the thing. That like it seemed like you're taking control of me.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I expect. So, but at the same time, it's just like I want to be elegant like my mom. Like, my mom told me not to worry about this kind of stuff. So I just kind of get a whole bunch of feelings from that pose, but then you see the hand over the neck.
Yeah. So, like, it's kind of alarming when you actually see the music video. Like, she's just figuring out all these ways to kill him. I mean, she talks about it in the song.
Yeah.
But I was just like, man, like, after paying attention to the album, I was like, man, like, why is his hand on her neck like that? Like, it's almost just like,
maybe it's like
don't embarrass me in front of company.
It's like a state of feeling, I guess. Like, you got me so wrapped up in you that I feel like I'm constrained and constricted just by you. That's what I get from it.
Yeah, man. I like the album artwork though. It's pretty cool. It's got a dope backdrop, classic old school joint, but it's just a little alarming, just like the look on her face and the position of his hand.
Yeah.
The flow of this project, man, it's very deep and heartfelt, toxic relationship music. That's really all I can say.
Yeah, it's very, very deep. Sounds extremely personal. Like it may be something that she's went through personally, but I like the fact that it takes you deep into the meaning. Like you can tell she's not just saying these or singing these. Like it really takes you to a deep place.
The highlights, man. Look, Note to Self was interesting. I was just like, man, like most people can't admit the fact that they are self-destructive.
Took me a minute. Like, what you spelling there?
Yeah, I had to stop. I literally stopped and just typed it in a text message, and it's like, oh, okay, self-destructive. Cool. Because it's like I was trying to catch it, and like I was doing too much at the time. So once I wrote it down, I was like, okay, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And then Note to You was actually really interesting too. So it's like they did all of that. Hotel came on, and then I like how it gets ready to start, like for Reminder, where it sounds like it's about to go old school, and then it comes back, and it is like an old school sounding beat.
It's like a dial the radio.
Yeah,
it feels like it's
cut off. It feels like it's a song from the 90s. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I was listening to a 90s playlist. I was trying to figure out who I thought she sound like, but she's in the realm of like how SWV kind of used to sound like Moken stuff. How man, I had another one too. I can't even remember who it is right now. But it was like that era 90s R&B and Escape. That's the other one I had in mind. Like she doesn't sound 100% like them. I'm just saying like it seems like she's drawing or maybe she was inspired by them. Maybe her mom was listening to that stuff and she heard it and it inspired her to become an artist.
Yeah.
And it also sounds like her voice would sound really well with two other people like blending their voices with her. I was just like, man, if she was in a group. But as a solo act, she's still really solid. The Reminder song is straight fire.
Yes.
I love the way it's written. It's done very well. Beetlejuice is super dope. I feel like this might be the best, like as far as the writing on the song, I think this might take it. Because whoever wrote this, if she wrote it, they wrote the hell out of this song. I was just like, yo, this joint is amazing. Disclosure featuring Mansa, man, that vibe that they pulled out on that song is super unforgettable and not a love song. It's a cool way to end the project. 7 a.m. was actually really solid too. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, man. Note to Self was a great way to start out. I really liked the tone she presented in My Nightmares, because that kind of got you to let you know as a listener what this is going to be about. So I thought that was a good palette seller. Note to You was dope. Hotel Interlude, like I just like the ambiance that had kind of created. And then Reminders is just really, really dope. Like I said, it has that old school feel, but the writing is really, really, really dope. Beetlejuice, I mean, Thanks for Nothing, I actually like that as well, because just how, I don't know, it's just a transparent way of writing. Like, it's direct, but then it's not direct. And that's what I really enjoy about it. Beetlejuice, though, is just written extremely, extremely well. What I can say, what I like about, even 7 a.m. Disclosure, like, this whole project has, like, a clear directive to it. Like, even though, like, all the ideas sonically are different, like, you can follow through, like, a story, so to speak, with it. Because I feel like it goes through all the emotions of how she's feeling, especially when, he's not calling, this and everything like that. And one thing I love about Disclosure is not that only it tells her feelings, but his feelings as well.
Yeah.
And he's regretting the fact that he did cheat on her or do something to hurt her and everything like that. So I kind of like that. And not a love song, I like how it just basically says, let's not make a song about us because we didn't know what we were doing anyway. Let's make a song or a poem about what we did wrong and everything like that. That's kind of the vibe I got from it. So it's just really dope how the idea of love is portrayed in this project, because what I got from it was we were young. We didn't know what we were doing. We shouldn't have been doing it. And maybe we should take this to future reference for future relationships and people that we know. So that's just really dope to me. I really like that.
That's actually a fire way of explaining it. You know what I'm saying? Low lights. That idea. Because it's like a scary situation.
Yeah.
It's just like, I'm glad, don't get me wrong, I'm glad there's an outlet for it.
Yeah.
They wrote it into the music and stuff like that. But man, if you're going through that, and this has almost like nothing to do with the project. If you're going through that, contact somebody. Get some friends involved. Like, do something, because that's a scary situation to be in. You know what I'm saying? I've seen people in that situation. You got to do something.
Yeah.
But as far as, I just didn't like the way it started. Okay. And what I mean by that, it's not that I don't like Note to Self or In My Nightmares or Note to You or Hotel. It just didn't feel like I got a real official song until I got to Reminder. Because In My Nightmare, it felt interlude-ish to me. I don't know why, but it felt interlude-ish.
It really was. Yeah.
But Reminder felt like the first real song. Like, I felt like there was really like 4 or 5 songs on this joint, and there's 10 songs on here.
Felt like an EP.
I mean, it is an EP.
Yeah.
But it
just like a
just,
shorter EP, I guess you would say.
Yeah, man. It was like 10 joints, but it's like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I think it's like 25. But it just felt awkward when it starts. So like when Reminder finally comes on at number 5, that's when it feels like it's time to get into it. Mm-hmm. And then when I came back and listened to it again, I felt like Nightmare maybe should have been mixed in somewhere in the middle of that. Okay. And so basically what I'm saying is just to set up like the way they played it out.
Yeah, that was my only low light, was going to be the fact that some of the songs sounded like interludes to me. But like, once I got past that idea that it went into the narrative of the project, I kind of go over it. But that would be off-putting for like a first listener or something like that. Like, oh, why so many interludes? Why is she only singing for 1 minute, then it goes off? So yeah, that was the only low light that I had.
Final thoughts, man. Look, man, I think Mariah The Scientist is dope. She got some fire things going on. I actually want to see what else she's doing, what else she's getting into with her music. Yeah. If she could stay on this path, because this is a path not too many people are touching on. We talked about it. Yeah. Like Lizzo's kind of touching on it a little bit. Bruno does it from time to time. He's not heavy on it. He kind of just does it
like
for
tapping
that album.
back into like the sound.
So like tapping back, because if somebody can manage to like freak this New Jack Swing era again,
I feel like that's the wave right now, because Tiana Taylor's on it heavy.
Yeah, Tiana Taylor's like heading back into the 90s. So because Mariah, she sounds 90ish, but she sounds 2019ish.
I think that's because she's young.
Yeah, you know what? Because the songwriting still sounds like common, like in these places, but it also has the 90s way of singing as well.
Yeah.
And they're using like more old school techniques. It's just her and a little bit of reverb.
Yeah.
You know, no auto tune, none of the crazy effects, which was really appreciated.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
you know, I like what she's doing.
I'm glad you said that, because that leads into my next point. You know, I feel like that's why I felt this so much, because it sounded authentic. It sounded organic. It sounded heartfelt. It just sounded raw. And I think that's because they didn't use that much effects on her voice. I felt like we got to know her as an artist, you know, who she is and what she's about. Because if I'm not mistaken, she released an EP last year as well. So I never heard nothing about her. So, you know, this is just a great way to get introduced to her, because of something dramatic as this, but also you get to know the depth in her artistry, and I think that's really dope.
Final grade, man. Look, I'm gonna give Mariah the Scientist a check. I don't know what that is in science terms. I don't know if there's a science term for a check. But anyway, like I said, man, she's got something dope coming out right here. She's doing something dope with the music video that she put out for Reminders. She's got the dope artworks for the album and stuff like that, with the using a periodic table and everything to spell stuff out. So I just like what she's doing. She's doing a cool thing by tying it to her major, and it's not sounding like everybody else out right now. She doesn't sound like her. She doesn't sound like SZA. She sounds like Mariah the Scientist.
Yep. And I'm gonna give it a check as well. I mean, it's a breath of fresh air, like, for real. And for her to be this young and this talented and pulling from a generation like the 90s and everything, stick with that. You got something original and unique. Not to try to say everybody that's doing the 90s stuff is original or unique, but that's just something, like you said, is just so untapped too. If we can bring that kind of movement back, music can continue to evolve and won't just stay at this kind of sound where we at right now. So shouts out.